Today's reading comes from Mark. The apostles gathered around Jesus and told him all that they had done and taught. He said to them, "Come away to a deserted place all by yourselves and rest a while." For many were coming and going, and they had no leisure even to eat. And they went away in a boat to a deserted place by themselves. Now, many saw them going and recognized them, and they hurried there on foot from all the towns and arrived ahead of them. As Jesus went ashore, he saw a great crowd, and he had compassion for them because they were like sheep without a shepherd, and he began to teach them many things. When they had crossed over, they came to land at Gennesaret and moored the boat. When they got out of the boat, people at once recognized him and rushed about that whole region and began to bring the sick on mats to wherever they heard he was. And wherever he went, into villages or cities or farms, they laid the sick in the marketplaces and begged him that they might touch even the fringe of his cloak. And all who touched it were healed. Adulthood is saying, but after this week, things will slow down a bit, over and over again until you die. Or at least it says so on an internet meme. But I have to say, I agree. When is the last time you took a moment guilt-free? When we are home with the kids all day and they get really wound up, we separate them and give them feet on couch time, a holdover from my days as a camp counselor when we had half an hour of feet on bedtime every day after lunch. They're allowed to read or play quietly or draw, but they can't have anything electronic and they can't talk to each other. It's just a moment to reset, to be quiet. But I will admit that when we do that, Matt, my husband, and I quickly try to get whatever work done in that moment that we can. And I only just realized that as I was writing this sermon, which I will freely admit is as much for me as it is for anyone else who is hearing it. Adults need quiet time too. Are you getting that kind of quality quiet time? Because if I'm honest, I don't think I'm doing it for myself. Jesus and the disciples had an awesome ministry going. People knew they existed, so they'd done that part right. And they were meeting people where they were and also meeting their needs. By the way, this story is missing a massive chunk in the middle, the part where Jesus feeds 5,000 hungry people along with his hungry disciples and then walks on water to meet his disciples in their moment of distress. It's just part of the schedule for the Revised Common Lectionary. I did not make it up. But we'll look at John's versions in the next couple of weeks. I just thought you needed to know that. The disciples were busy, like super busy. Cranking out that 169-hour work week, never stopping, work, work, work. You only live once, make every waking minute productive, always be needed, always be responding to that need. And while I understand that Jesus doesn't exactly follow through on ensuring that his disciples and he get some rest, I want to take note that he at least gets that in order to keep doing this ministry, he and his disciples need some quiet, restorative time. The Son of Man understands that his disciples can't keep going at this pace without meeting their basic needs. He understands that even if man was not made for the Sabbath was made for man. Sometimes the immediacy of the work supersedes our ability to take that time, and sometimes we have to take it anyway. The Good Shepherd will lay down his life for his sheep, but he will also make them lie down in green pastures and take a minute because he knows that they won't do it themselves. A friend of mine wrote, "Take time for your wellness, or you will be forced to take time for your illness." It's all too easy to put off the things we need to thrive in order to squeeze time in for care or ministry or family or work, and sometimes it's necessary. Even if it's always happening, then that's a problem. There's also this weird dynamic around rest in our Protestant work ethic society. It's simultaneously really, really easy to feel guilty if you do manage to carve out some time to just be, but it's also really easy to feel guilty if you don't ever engage in self-care. We Americans love a good catch-22. For many of us, the pandemic has felt like a marathon, and for many of us as well, especially those who are in caring professions, teachers, pastors, parents, counselors, contractors, you name it, we feel like we've come to the end of the race, and instead of seeing that finish line, we're seeing another race being set up again, and we haven't even caught our breath yet. As things start to open up again, we are increasingly trading the constant background noise of pandemic decisions and the stress of FOMO, which is fear of missing out, for suddenly wanting and needing to do all of the things. After 15 months of missing birthdays and holidays and time with friends and family, there's pressure to make up for lost time. And that's okay. We should be seeing people and doing things and having events and getting back together again safely, especially when we can do it outside. But if you're finding that you're overwhelmed, that's okay too. In Mark, the wilderness, the deserted place, is the space in which the real introspection and growth happens. How can you create some space in your life that looks like that deserted place, a wilderness space where you can have time to think and grow and just be? Jesus knew when it was time to take a break. And yet, even Jesus couldn't extricate himself from the needs of the world long enough to take a minute, at least not in that moment. The needs of the world will still be there, but we'll be able to be better present if we take a few minutes each day to sit quietly, to breathe, to be present, to remember who we are and whose we are. We are not what we do. And let me say that again. We are not what we do. We are children of God, beloved and treasured by the one who made us, the one who created the world and all that is in it, the one who created the Sabbath for us to rest and to just be, the one who gave us life and who loves us. Amen.